Hi everyone and welcome back to Crystal Dreams channel. Today's tutorial is how to make this wonderful zigzag bracelet using the bar beads and the brick stitch technique. So let's take a look at the material we need. First, I want to remind you that all materials are available on our website www.crystaldream.es. First we need some bar beads. I choose these three colors. As thread I use Nemo thread, but you can also choose another similar. 2 needles, 1 clasp, this is magnetic clasp, and a couple of scissors. Okay, let's start. The first thread is to pass the needle inside the first hole of this bar bead. This is chalk lava red. I pass it in the first and the second, then I return passing the needle inside the first hole, then the second hole again, so I will get it stuck exactly here. I needled 3 meters of Nemo thread. Then I insert the second one, that is the gold color. I pass it through the previous hole of the chalk lava red color, and then I position it in this way, right beside the first one. Then I repass inside the first hole again, and then now I enter from the top toward the bottom in the second hole. Then inside the first hole again, then in the second. It's very important to repass because it's the first line, so it's the base where I will sew all the other beads with the brick stitching technique. So I made it again with a copper bead. You can also put more than 3 meters of Nemo thread, 4 meters. It depends, but yeah, it's better as always to put more meters because you will be sure that is enough to finish your work. Okay, exactly, I got the first line, then I return back until the red bead, and then I will start the brick stitching technique. Most of you probably already know the brick stitching technique is most common probably with Miyuki 1-hole beads, but in this case I want to use it with 2-hole beads, and bar beads are very good because they are completely flat, so we can work with brick stitching technique in a good way. So insert it in this way, the first hole, then the second, and I sew here in the thread who pass in the first and the second hole of the red bead I have in the first line. Then I pass inside the second hole here way, and now I insert a gold color bead, and I will sew it. Look, I will sew it to the thread who goes out from the second hole of the first red bead, and the second hole of the first red bead, and then inside the first golden bead. Then I pass it inside this last bead in the second hole, and I sew it to the base. That is the thread who goes out from the first and the second hole of the golden bead I have in the first line. I follow doing the same with the copper one. I sew it to the thread who goes out from the second hole of the previous line that goes inside the first hole. I repass inside the first hole again, and then in the second here, and I sew it here to the thread that I have between the first and the second hole of the copper bead of the first line. This the second line, as you can see, is misplaced from the first one because we are going to make the zigzag effect. I insert a new one copper bead, and then I pass inside the first hole, in the second, and I sew it to the hole who goes out from the second hole of the copper bead and the golden one of the previous line, and the third line goes up a little more. Then a new gold one here, I repass inside the first hole again. Then in the second I will sew it to the thread I have the previous line between the gold and the red. It's probably more difficult to explain with words, but only the video I think is enough to understand better how to do it. Here the red one, and for the first hole, then inside it again, I pass inside the second hole, then I return down, passing inside the previous line again, the last hole, then okay, in this way I return up, passing on the first hole of the red one in the previous line, and here again it goes out from the same place. And now I'm ready to follow inserting beads. Another red one, they are misplaced going down, and now we will return up. Look, I insert a new one, then I sew, I pass through the second and sew it to the thread I have between the red and the gold one of the previous line. This way we are going up now. Here the gold, and follow doing the same. We go basically up and down with every 3 beads until to get the length of the bracelet we need for our wristlet. I want to remind you that bar beads are available in a lot of colors, so a wide range of colors. You can enter in our website www.crystaldream.es. You will find a lot of colors about bar beads. You can also use the same technique with Super Duo or any other, but probably ruler beads are very good for this technique. But in this case, to learn, bar beads are very special because they are completely flat on the side. And here the copper. Then the golden one. And now I completed the 5th line. Here. Now I go quickly. Here I'd already done almost my whole bracelet. The only thing we have to do now is to sew the clasp. The clasp has 2 rings. I already sew it the other side, and now I explain how to do it. As you can see, I have put my clasp here. It's very easy. Now I build the last line, so I insert the copper one, I pass the needle inside the second hole, then I sew it to the thread that I have between the copper and the golden at the previous line, and now I take the ring of the clasp and I pass it inside the hole from the bottom to the top. You can do it reverse, and then I return down, inserting a new golden bead. I sew it to the base of the first the previous line in the center. In the second hole, I return, passing inside it, and then I enter in the second hole. I sew it to the thread I have between the golden and the red one of the previous line again. Very important to tense the cord to get all the work stuck. Okay, now I go inside the second hole of the clasp, from the bottom to the top. Then the first hole, okay, inside the first hole again, and the work is almost done. We enter in the second hole of the red one, and now we have to hide the tip of the thread. So basically we return passing inside the previous lines before cutting. You don't need to make knots. If you pass it again between a lot of lines, it is enough to hold all the work for sure. Okay, now I'm ready to cut and the bracelet is done. I think it's very good result. I hope you appreciate it. I encourage all of you to try making it at home by yourself. So that's all for now, folks. Thanks for your time, and as always, happy beading and bye bye.